जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवर धारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवर धारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यमुना तीरा बनचारी। यमुना तीरा बनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम सिंह हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. So we'll chant our prayers before we start. So, does everyone know the prayers or no? Okay. Maybe I can share on the screen. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरौ श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखावितांश्च. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते. तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. नमा ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे. श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So thank you very much all of you for joining, and it's my pleasure to be with you today. So today we are going to cover from chapter 4 text 11 to 15. I think till last time till 10th verse you covered, right? 4:10. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think we should have prasadam before the class because a lot of you couldn't chant loudly. Huh? Plus one. So, as we see, this fourth chapter is what is the title of fourth chapter? Does anyone remember? Karma Yoga. Okay. Anyone else? Transcendental knowledge. Third chapter is Karma Yoga, right? Transcendental. So, so this is a transcendental knowledge. So there are varieties of knowledge. You know, today Shrestha was giving class, and in the Srimad Bhagavata we were discussing there are different kinds of knowledge. Some is we talk about business. You know, we talk about uh, our jobs and knowledge related to say medicine or farming or different kind of fields. That is external knowledge, and then you have interpersonal knowledge. You know, how do I maintain good relationships among my family, friends, and then there is transcendental knowledge, which is beyond all these things, right? So, transcendental knowledge is which transcends the knowledge which is there in this world. So we are studying, so some of you may be studying in UW. So they may talk about medicine, they may talk about engineering, but there is knowledge beyond these sciences, which is, you may say, metaphysical sciences or psychological sciences are there, but this is beyond even those sciences, which talk about the science of spirit, the science of other planets which are beyond our vision of our senses. So those are transcendental knowledge. So if you see in this slide, there are different questions that are answered. But before we begin, would anyone like to recap the first 10 verses? What was the theme of those first 10 verses? What question did Arjuna ask Krishna? And then he starts answering the fourth chapter. All clear? Knowledge, yes. How do you remember all your previous births, right? I cannot remember because Krishna said that I gave this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to sun god Vivaswan. And Arjuna said, Vivaswan, Surya Devta is like millions of years old. How can you remember everything? And how can I understand that you were there? I do not remember anything. Like we don't remember what we ate maybe 2 days back or yesterday. So that's the question that Arjuna is asking Krishna. You know, how do you remember that? Sun god Vivaswan, and then you told to Ishvaku and then Manu and different people in that dynasty. Lord Ram is from the Ishvaku dynasty. So, so that was the question. And then Krishna starts answering that you do not remember, but I remember everything because Krishna tells his position that there are two kind of living beings. I remember everything. Okay, good. So that is there. So now in this chapter, in this session 3, there are these 5 verses that we will cover. So can anyone read the all the lines from 11 to 15? Yes. So these are the 5 verses that we'll go through today. And why does Krishna tell that he reciprocates with the worshipper mood? Because Krishna is trying to explain all these answers to Arjuna, and then based on the mood, the person understands that. So if somebody has a somebody doesn't have unmotivated or uninterrupted devotion to Krishna, then they will understand in their way. So for example, we'll see an example that if we are interested in uh, genuine love for Krishna, then Krishna will reciprocate in that way. But if we have some agendas, Krishna, I want this, that's why I'm worshipping you, then Krishna will reciprocate in that way. So based on our desires, Krishna will reciprocate. So we'll read this verse. So let's chant this verse. Ye yatha mam prapadyante ye yatha tams tathaiva bhajami ham mama vartmanu vartante manusyam parth sarvasha. So ye yatha mam prapadyante. Prapadyante means surrender. So that to the degree you surrender to Krishna, tams tatheva bhajami ham. When you are doing bhajan to Krishna, mam vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarva. To that degree, I will reciprocate to you. Krishna is saying. You know, sometimes people ask, okay, how do I know that I am praying and Krishna is listening and really God is there? So then, to the degree you are sincere, you will understand that your prayer has been heard, right? If you are not sincere, it's not heard. So that is the conclusion from this verse. And if we are interested in say politics and we are interested in fighting and we are interested in gossiping and wasting our time, then Krishna will reciprocate in that way. But if we are sincere, we focus on our spiritual life and our studies or whatever work what we have to do, and don't focus on criticizing others or being arrogant or envious of others, then Krishna will reciprocate in that way. So, because Krishna is looking at the desire of each and every one of us, like in the Katha Upanishad, it is said that in our heart there are two birds. For example, example is given of two birds. Basically, we have Paramatma and our Atma within us, right? So the example is given of two birds. So one bird is observing the activity of other birds. So the super soul or Paramatma is looking at the Atma, what the desire of the Atma is, and based on the desire of the Atma, the desires are fulfilled. So whatever we desire, the Lord will fulfill in that way. And sometimes the Lord also doesn't fulfill, right? Because it's Lord's supervision. Whatever the Lord wants, He's the boss. So if He doesn't want something to go through, then it cannot happen. Whatever He deems good for us. So, so now in this verse, it is said that why Bhagwan, why not Brahman, Paramatma? So, do we understand the difference between Bhagwan, Brahman, and Paramatma? Everyone, Paramatma is like within the heart of everybody, and then Brahman is all pervading Brahman effulgence, the Brahma Jyoti of the Lord that is coming from the body of the Lord. And Bhagwan is the actual Bhagwan feature in the personal form of the Lord. So here we are talking about Bhagwan, Swayam Bhagwan Sri Krishna. So Krishna rewards everyone according to their surrender. So whatever degree of surrender we have to that degree, Krishna will reciprocate with us. So in this, there are three levels of absolute truth, which is Bhagwan, Paramatma, and Brahman. And how Krishna reciprocates is given in this chart, where you see there are impersonalists who think that, oh, God is not a person, God is just light, you know. So, so that is impersonalist. So one time I was working in India, and there were some impersonalists. They say, oh, you want to see God? I said, yes, why not? And they took me to a room, and there were a lot of people were there, and they said, see, uh, this space, you cannot cut it, you cannot dry it, you cannot wet it. This is God. Now you got the Brahma Gyan. Now you have seen God. Congratulations. Like that. So there are people who are impersonalists. So there are different classes of people who worship God in different ways, So that is impersonalist. And then yogis, they worship the Lord within the heart. They are mystic yogis. They see the Lord within the heart of everybody, and they meditate on the Lord within their heart. Like if you see in the sixth chapter, there is details how you focus between your eyebrows and meditate on the Lord within your heart. Like that, it is there. So those are the yogis, but they are after mystic powers. They want siddhis so that they can show themselves, I'm better than others and I can do this such magic, so that they have followers, right? So they are also not very pure devotees. But devotees, they love Krishna not for mystic power, not for knowledge, or not for attaining anything. They love Krishna because they just love Krishna. They want to, because Krishna is Krishna, and they reciprocate with Krishna in five different rasas. So five primary rasas we know is, they love as parents, as friends, as conjugal lovers, as Shant Bhav, as neutral, like they help Krishna arrange all these things like Lord Balaram, and as servants. So there are different rasas of the for the devotees, and they depend on the Krishna's mercy for success. Yeah. So this is so based on our desire, Krishna will reciprocate here. And also at the time of death, at the time of death, it is said in Bhagavad Gita, I think 8th chapter, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tejante ante kalevara tam tam evaiti kaunteya sada tad bhav bhavita. Yam yam vapi smaran bhav. Whatever is your smaran of bhav at the time of death, it means whatever is the deepest desire at the time of death, to that nature you will attain. That is why we have so many different kind of species, based on the desire at the time of death, we get that kind of body. Get a demigod body or animal body, or we may go back to Krishna or come back, based on our desires, whatever is the deepest desire. And why do we have 84 lakh yoni or 8,400,000 species? Is because there are three modes of material nature. What are the three modes? Sato, Rajo, and Tamo, right? Goodness, passion, ignorance. So 3 by 3 is how much? 9. Like there are three say primary colors. You mix them, how much it becomes? 9 different, right? And then you mix 9 again into the 9, then it becomes how much? 81, right? One into another and then another, like combination permutation. If you remember from your 81. So 81 plus 3 is 84. That's why there are 84 million species. So Srila Prabhupada was telling this in one lecture. So that's why there are 8,400,000 species of life. So based on the desire, Jalja Navalakhani, there are 900,000 species in water. There are so many species in the air, birds, insects. So based on the desire, Krishna reciprocates with us. And this is some examples of how Krishna reciprocates with devotees. Uh, those who think that my birth and activities are eternal and having a particular desire for those pastimes, worship and please me. So yeah. So 5 rasas we discussed. There are different rasas as you can see as a friend. So at the bottom, there is this Gopakumara. He's a person who used to live in Govardhan. And this is it, in Brihad Bhagavatamrit by Sanatan Goswami, how he meets Krishna in the spiritual world. And Krishna says, my dear Gopakumara, I've been waiting for you. And he just embraces Krishna. That, my dear Gopakumara, you have went through so many trials and tribulations. But I'm so grateful to you that, you have finally come here. So this is a pastime from the spiritual world in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And then you have different other pastimes with the gopis dancing in the rasa dance. Maya Yashoda is there, Krishna is with the cow. So there are different ways we can love Krishna. So the way, whatever way we love Krishna, Krishna reciprocates in that way. So for the with the jnanis, so yeah, so we discussed with devotees first, and then with the jnanis second. So uh, jnanis basically um, accept the eternal nature of my birth and activity, consider my deity form to be Sachidanand and surrender to me for perfection. I liberate those jnanis. Since they desire the destruction of their gross and subtle bodies, I give them bliss of Brahman. So jnanis go to Brahman. They are so much fed up of this, these problems in this world that we don't want anything. We just want Shanti. But for Maya Yashoda, Shanti is when Krishna is fighting with her, when Krishna is shouting. That is more peaceful than the worst anxiety in the world. That is more peaceful for her. So the Gyanis want to go into Brahma Jyoti. They don't want to, do anything with any devotional service or spiritual world or anything. They just go to the Brahma Jyoti. Those who want to commit spiritual suicide by annihilating their individual existence, Krishna helps them by absorbing into his effulgence. So so the Gyanis, they do not want any individual existence. They just want to merge, we don't want any exchange with anyone. They cannot relish the bliss of transcendental personal service to the Lord, having extinguished their individuality. So what is the photo here? Do you see? Yes, Shishupal. So Shishupal was uh, basically the person who envied Krishna a lot, you know. And in this assembly, he blasphemed Krishna more than 100 times. And then Krishna, through his Sudarshan, see, he cut off his head. And then you see what is happening. His soul is coming out and it's going to Krishna, you know. So he got this liberation, merging with Krishna into the Brahman effulgence. And with others, even those who follow other religions and denominations and propitiate others and are not following Vedic culture in any way, them also an allotment of materialistic rewards are made available, but in an indirect way. I don't neglect the worshippers of other demigods, even those worshippers follow my path. So, so there are so many religions in the world, right? So whoever they worship sincerely, somehow the Lord reciprocates. Sincerity has to be there because, like, God has appeared in different forms, like the sun. Still, Srila Prabhupada says that sun is sun, but in Mexico you call the sun as soul, SOL. In Sanskrit, you may call Surya, Aditya, Bhaskara, whatever. English sun, obviously. Hindi Surya. But the sun is one. The sun is Krishna. As you can see in the photo, is in the center. But um, they are available to everyone in the ways how they see him. So one time, our one of our teachers, he was discussing with one person from another faith, and he says, "Do you think that God is attractive?" He said, "Yes, God is attractive." "Do you think God is beautiful?" "Yes, God is beautiful." "And He's most wealthy, most..." "Yes." So he said, all of these qualities, the quality of these are contained in one word, that is Krishna. I said, "Well, what Krishna?" "Yes, Krishna." "Then Krishna is God, because Krishna word means all attractive." So Krishna is there, and like Jesus Christ, Christ comes from the Greek word Christos, you know. So who's the son of God? So, but who is God? Son of God is Jesus Christ, but who is God? Then you understand that Krishna is God. Those who are not firmly situated even in the impersonal existence return to this material field to exhibit the dormant desires for activities. So as you can see here, there are different photographs of Gajendra, right? And who else is there? Sudama, Dhruva, and I don't know who the last one is, the top right. Yeah. Gajendra, anyone know stories? Gajendra? Okay, you know. So quickly, I'll just share Gajendra's story. So Gajendra was elephant. He was a king in the previous life. So one day he went. It was beautiful weather like today. Very less to be seen in Seattle. So he went with his friends and family to this lake, and at the least expected moment, he was in the lake, and the crocodile came and just bit him on his leg, and he kept holding his leg. He didn't let it go. And so similarly in this life, we may think that, oh, things are going very nicely, but at the least expected moment, things can go wrong with us. We may lose our health, we may lose our jobs, especially with AI coming in. We may spoil our relationship with somebody. We may get through financial difficulties at the least expected moment. So same thing happened to Gajendra. He never expected, his family members never expected, and they couldn't do anything because they are not animal water. They were just standing and they were watching. And this crocodile, because crocodile is the animal of water, it has more strength in water, right? So it kept holding the leg of Gajendra, and Gajendra couldn't do anything. And then Gajendra, he kept fighting for many days. And in this difficulty, he remembered some prayers from his previous life, and he offered this lotus flower from the lake to the Lord. Like you can see in the photograph, he has lifted a lotus flower, and the Lord came and through the chakra, he cut off the head of the crocodile, who was Gandharva Huhu. So he cut his neck. So everyone is dependent for success upon Krishna's mercy. So we can do our best, but ultimately we also depend on Krishna's. There are few things which are out of our control. We can do our best. Yes, we can do our best effort in whatever situation we are going through, but sometimes things are beyond our control. And that's where we take shelter of Krishna. So this is the 12th verse. So Krishna is a warder of liberation. Why don't people worship him only? Those who are full of desire give up the path of bhakti, even though it is coming directly from me, and follow the path of karma, which gives quick results. So sometimes, so that is the question that is asked, that he's awarding liberation. Why don't people worship him? But sometimes people want quick things, right? 2 minutes Maggie. So let's read this shloka. Kangshata karmanam siddhim yajanta iha devata क्षिप्रम हि मनुष्ये लोके सिद्धिर्भवति कर्मजा. Kankshata, they have desire. Karmana siddhim. Yajanta hi devta. Then they try to worship Devi Devta. Suppose you go to a In India, you can see more. You go to a department, and the normal process will take, say, passport, you will get in, say, 10 days. But if you give some money to the officer who's sitting on the front desk, then he may send you the passport in 2 days. Quick thing. So similarly, Shipram hi manusya loke. Shipram is very fast delivery. Shipram hi manusya loke siddhir bhavati karmaja. So that's why people worship very Devi Devta. Like, for example, Ashutosh. Lord Shiva is very, very quickly pleased, right? That's why he's called Ashutosha. So who worshipped Lord Shiva to get quick siddhis? Huh? Ravana? Yeah. Who said? Yeah, that's correct. Ravana, right? There are a lot of other demons who worshipped Lord Shiva to quick. And uh, Hiranyakashipu worshipped who? Brahma. Yes. Why did he worship Brahma? Why did he worship Shiva, not Krishna? Because they want quick something, and they both of them were uh, envious of Rama and envious of Krishna or Narayana. So, so they worship them for quick benefit, and they wanted to be God themselves. So demigod worship for material assets, or Krishna worship for returning back to Godhead. So, so when somebody wants to become God themselves, why would they want to return back to Godhead? They would invite everybody to their home. So demigod worship is for material assets. But Krishna explains in the other chapters also that whoever is worshipping a Devi Devta, Krishna says, I give them faith to worship that Devi Devta. And whatever results they are getting through the Devi Devta is through my agency. For example, you are worshipping, say, Lord Shiva or Brahma ji or Durga ji. Then that faith is given by Krishna because you are worshipping them, which is your desire. And then if they give any approval to you, any benefit, then that is coming from approval through the Lord. For example, there is a CEO of a company. You put an expense, your manager approves it, but ultimately it is coming from the organizational account, right? So something like that. So Krishna is the ultimate controller. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. So Krishna is the cause of everything. So you can see all the Devi Devta are there. So definitely we worship all the Devi Devta. If somebody comes to our home, we worship everybody. Why not we worship Devi Devta? We respect Devi Devta. Yes, Prabhu.
So I've seen this one big assumption made in like ISKCON that people worship so-called demigods only for material things.
Mhm.
But if you see many other cultures within Sanatan Dharma, they worship the, the gods just to worship them. They don't have any agenda. So why does the ISKCON like make that assumption?
Hmm. Yeah,
It's
so
wrong.
correct, correct, correct. Yeah. So basically, when we say like this, it is based on the scriptures. Like I gave the example of Ravan, right? So in the scriptures, the evidences are there that Devi Devs are worshipped for something beyond except loving God. So that is why these assumptions are made. But if somebody like is worshipping Devi Devta out of any desire for any fruitive activities or any motivation for material gains, then definitely they will be elevated to the next level to Krishna's worship. So that is also there. But generally, when we say that, it is most probably based on the scriptural evidences that are there. Yeah. And in this world, if you see, there are very small percentage of people, like you mentioned, even they go to temple. How many people actually worship for true devotional service? That, oh my dear Lord, I don't want anything. So very few people. Like Hanumanji is there. So a lot of people worship Hanumanji. Hanumanji is in the everywhere in the gym. So people are building body, they are worshipping Hanumanji. But the purpose is to impress girls or to fight with somebody, right? How many people genuinely, build their bodies to and worship Hanumanji to actually serve Lord Ram or worship and serve in the mission of Lord Ram? It's very rare. 1% or even less than that. I mean, maybe you have seen more, but what do you think?
And also, so Krishna is like a form of prophet, but the formless aspect, if you see Kartikeya, he said that like he's for a Brahma. Yeah, she always said he's Parabrahma. Like even like Devi, like Durga, she said that she's Parabrahma's being. So like they all are basically same. It's just the formless aspect.
Correct. Yeah, yeah. They're all expansion. They are different departments. Like, Durga Devi, she's managing this world. Durga means fort, and this world we are all stuck here, fort. She's managing. Saraswati is the goddess of learning. Surya Dev, health. So Brahmaji is creator. So everybody has been given responsibility, like in an organization. So everybody has their own position, and in their own way, they are small Ishvara. They are Ishwar. They are gods. But the supreme personality of God, supreme or Ishvara Parama Krishna, is Krishna. That is Brahma Samhita says. Lot of saints say, Narad Muni, Devala, Sita Vyasa, all of them say like that. So they tell that Krishna is the supreme, and all others are basically assisting Krishna in different activities. So one devotee was telling, somebody asked, what is the difference between Krishna and Vishnu? Then he gave example of Amitabh Bachchan in the movie, some movie, Kuli or whatever. He says Amitabh Bachchan in the movie is like, Vishnu. He's acting, he's doing some role, he's acting. But Amitabh Bachchan at home is Krishna, the original Lord. So people approach them to quickly satisfy their needs, but their boons are like bubbles in the ocean. Yeah, so they are temporary boons that we get that are in the ocean. But having said that, yes, we respect all the Devi Devtas, like when I go to any temple, I do worship Lord Shiva also, like very, because he's the greatest devotee. And I used to live in Prayagraj. Then we had a beautiful temple near Mother Ganga. So I offer Ganga water to him. Even Banaras, you have Lord Vishwanath, So I went to this Lord Ganesha's temple in Mumbai. What is that? What is the name? Vinayak, Siddhi Vinayak, such a wonderful temple. So there is no harm in worshipping, because all are. Have you seen them in relation to Krishna? So there is nothing wrong. So because they sincerely worship Lord Shiva, then Lord Shiva promoted them to Krishna's worship. Yeah. 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 So people are rarely interested in Krishna consciousness. So Srila Prabhupada used to say, how many people do you see in a diamond shop, real diamond shop? And how many people do you see where there is, glass jewelry, like artificial jewelry? Very, very few, and lot of people are there in the fake jewelry shop. So if you see, out of this world population, 8 billion people, how many are vegetarian? Does anyone know? 5%, 6%, yeah. Out of that 5%, how many are without onion garlic? Very rare, right? So it's not easy. It's not easy to follow these principles. And then on top of it, um, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex. It's very rare. And to chant the names of the Lord. So very few people can get attracted to it. So it's not easy. This is going back to Godhead, getting out of this cycle of birth and death, getting out of the cycle of this studies and job is itself getting, free from your all these entanglements is so difficult. Then what to speak of going back to Godhead? So difference between Lord Krishna and demigods is given here. Would someone like to read it? Yes, you can read. Yeah. You want to read? You want to read?
Gods, there are many. Lord Krishna only one. Demigods are parts and parcels. Lord Krishna is the supreme whole. Demigods always worship supreme as obedient servants. Lord Krishna is supremely worshipable. Demigods are created by the supreme. Lord Krishna is the supreme creator. Demigod exists within material nature. Lord Krishna is beyond limitation. Demigods delegated with various grades of power to manage the affairs of the universe. Lord Krishna is the supreme control. Demigods subordinate to the will of the supreme. Lord Krishna is supremely independent. Demigods have material bodies, subject to birth, old age, disease, and death. Lord Krishna is supremely spiritual body, for birth, death, old age, and disease. Demigods come under the influence of three modes of material, three material modes to different extents. Lord Krishna is completely beyond influence of the three material forces. Demigods are temporary forces, and Lord Krishna is temporary same.
Yeah. Yes. So that is the difference between Devi Devta and demigods. So demigods give quick results that we discussed, and demigods are inferior to the Supreme Lord. Uh, Inferior is little that kind of word. I would say they are assisting the Lord, in different activities. And problem with demigod worship, as you can see, Ravan is worshipping Lord Shiva, and then how the demigods of this material world as well as the worshipper will vanish with the annihilation of this material world. So so those posts are temporary. Like Brahma's post is temporary. Indra is a post; it's not a person. Who's the current Indra? I think there is a name of Indra that's in the scripture. So there are different names for the people who are there. They don't want permanent solution to the hardships of material existence. So even if you do a PhD, even if we acquire so many degrees or batches in this lifetime, then when we die, when we get birth again, we have to start with what? ABCD. Where are all those degrees? They're all gone, right? So so it is temporary, but does not mean that we don't acquire degrees. We have to live in this lifetime, so we still need all those things. But we should have that understanding also, so that we can balance the two, spiritual life as well as our material needs, so that we understand and balance the needs. So let's chant the next verse. How to destroy such material desire for sense enjoyment, which is an obstacle to performance of Nishkam Karma by Varnashram performed for pleasure of Krishna. Chaturvarnam maya shishtam guna karma vibhagashah tasya kartaram mam vidhi akartaram avyayam. So Chaturvarnam maya shishtam. So Krishna has designed this Varna and Ashram. So Srila Prabhupada was saying in one lecture, this four classes which we see here. What are the four classes we see? We see the Brahman, the Vaishya, Kshatriya, Shudra, right? So these four different classes that is there, Varnas are there. They are designed by Krishna. It's something in India. Everywhere you see in the world, in Europe, America, there are people who are working, either cleaning the streets, or there are people who are doctors, there are people who are lawyers, there are people who are fighters. So it's not just in India, it is there. It's all over the world. This system is there. These four classes are there, right? So you need, in order to run the society, you need people to guide. So Brahmins, they will guide the Kshatriyas in decision making. Okay, whether you should attack or not, whether this is a good decision or not, and then Kshatriyas will execute on it. And then the farmers, as you can see, the farmers, they will um, they will basically provide food to the other classes. And then there are people who will assist all the other classes. So these are the four classes that are there. They are based on guna karma vibha. They are not based on birth. So if somebody is born a lawyer in a lawyer's family, it doesn't mean they become a lawyer. It is based on guna karma. Their whatever karma they are doing and whatever is their guna, whatever is their inclination, whatever is their mode. So that is what it is based on. So lot of times you see that in the West there are people who are hippies. They are lying on the street. They didn't take bath for many months. They were just intoxicating. But when they came in contact with Prabhupada, when they started chanting the Maha Mantra, they turned into like great Brahmins. So now you cannot say, oh, those are not Brahmins. No, they are now Brahmins because their activities are like that. On the other hand, you see in India sometimes in Vrindavan, the so-called sadhus, they are smoking chilam. So are they real Brahmins or the people who became Brahman here, they are Brahmin? It is based on their qualities, on their work, right? So it is not based on birth. So many times that is confusing that, just by birth you are a Brahmin. No. Because Krishna himself is saying that it is based on guna and karma, vibhagasha. So in order to get a medical degree, you have to work for 5 years, MBBS, then you get a degree. It's not that your parents are doctors, so you'll become a doctor. So these are Chatur, Varna, and Ashram. What are the four ashram? Hmm. Grihastha, yes. Householder, yes. Vanaprastha, Brahmachari, and Sannyasi. These are the four ashrams. So those are also designed there. That is also very much important in life. So till 25 years, it is said you remain a bachelor, Brahmachari, and then you take household life, and then you slowly give up your duties. You become Vanprasth and Sannyas. So Krishna creates Varnashram Dharma so that people could pure. So what is the purpose of Varnashram Dharma? Why it is created? To purify us. To purify. Because when we do certain duties, then we learn from that. We may get success. We may get failure. So we purify ourselves. We understand this world. We understand who we are, who is Krishna. So through our duties, we learn a lot of things. It purifies us, right? And Lord Krishna does not belong to any of these because he is creator and not a conditioned soul. And then a Vaishnava, devotee of Krishna, is beyond the Brahman also, beyond Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So a Vaishnava has all the qualities of a Brahman. A Brahmana may not have the quality of Vaishnava, but who doesn't understand Krishna, then he cannot become a Vaishnava. Yes, Mataji. Yeah, Varnashram purifies us. So there are two examples, Varna and Ashram, right? So one is ashram. Ashram is like when we are brahmachari, and when we are say not married till that time, we get educated in spiritual knowledge. So we get that knowledge, we purify ourselves. Then we have household life. We take care of our responsibility, spouse, children. We go through so many challenges. We tolerate the spouse or the children or different. We have to do that. So whether it is good or bad, and it basically creates an understanding about this world that in terms of difficulty we take shelter of the Lord. Suppose there is fight between the spouses or there is some difficulty that is coming in our life, we take shelter of Krishna. When there is good times, then we are grateful to the Lord. So it kind of creates an affection with the Lord during such ups and downs, upheaval, uh, you know during the life. And then slowly we give up these responsibility in sannyas and vanaprastha. We again take full shelter of Krishna. So these systems are meant to finally purify us. And when you say purify, what do you purify? Suppose there is some metal, right? How do you purify a metal? Like gold is purified by heating, right? More and more you heat, the carat increases. So what is that heat? That is all these difficulties that we are facing through in life, and how we take shelter of Krishna and those how we become close to Krishna. That is the purification process. We have so much of lust, anger, greed, and enviousness, arrogance. So all those things slowly and steadily they go away. Suppose we are working in IT job and we go through so many different challenges and difficulties. If we have the right perspective, we can understand those things, then we can purify ourselves. That makes sense? Yeah. Yeah, so all these things are made to purify us. When we are with devotee, with your friends, then what happens, sometimes our ego may get burnt, crushed, right? And you're like, oh, I have so much ego, I am so much arrogant. Probably I should be more humble, right? So that purifies us when we are with like-minded people. And when we read scriptures, then our intelligence is purified. We come to understand, oh, this is the right thing, this is the wrong thing, right? We heard about Devi Devta worship, Krishna. So intelligence is purified. When we chant the mantra, then our mind is purified, because otherwise our mind, all hodgepodge is going on. Things are coming to our mind, what happened 20 years back, somebody said to us. But when we chant the mantra, our mind becomes purified. It is in the present. We are hearing the Maha Mantra. It gets purified. We are more focused, more attentive, and we can remember the Lord by chanting the mantra. And when we uh, eat nice vegetarian Krishna Prasad food, then our senses get purified. So we are not tempted or agitated by eating non-veg or too much spicy or whatever different kind of food. So these are different ways to purify us through our senses, by eating prasad, mind through chanting the mantra, intellect through reading scriptures, you know, and finally our ego by association with great people and associating with Krishna. So there is a verse, Om apavitra pavitro va sarvavastha gato. Whatever situation, whether you are pure and impure, when you meditate on the lotus-eyed Lord, then you become purified from within and without. Om apavitra pavitro va sarvavastha gatopi va yah smaret pundarikaksha sa bahayat abhayantara shuchi. Shuchi means purified, like that. So these are different ways to purify us. Purpose of this system is elevate from animal status to human status. People could purify themselves by regulating desires. So that's the answer to your question, regulating desires. Process of purification for one whose material desire inhibits him from directly approaching Krishna. Systematically develop Krishna consciousness. How much time we have? I think we have 10 more slides. We can continue? 10 minutes? Okay. So I'll quickly finish this. 37 slides. So as you see, the duty of Brahmana is controlling Yajan, Yajan, Patan, Patan, and Kshatriyas, they are in the war field, act of, they protect the other classes, right? Vaishyas, they farming and they raise cows. So we have some cowboys here, right? How many have you been to the farm? I think everyone should go to the farm. We have our Goloka farm in Redmond. It's very nice to, see the cows there. So we have small little babies also. So the Shudras predominated by Tamas, they serve others. So there are all different classes which are required in the society. And it's not that one is better than the others. It's not like that. Everybody has their own importance. And through every of them, you can actually connect to the Lord. You can attain the perfection in spirituality if you're doing that perfectly. Keeping Krishna in the center, of course. And know me as the creator of the system, since it is created from Prakriti, which is my energy. I am not the creator, since my Swarupa is beyond the Gunas and Prakriti, so I am indestructible. Yeah, so what Krishna is saying is that know me to be the creator of this Prakriti, but it is controlled by other, energies of mine. And Krishna is not affected by any of them because he is not conditioned soul. So Krishna is not affected by any gunas, like he is not in Tamo Guna or Rajo Guna, because he's beyond them. He's the creator of them. न माम कर्माणि लिम्पन्ति न मे कर्म फले स्पृहा इति माम्योऽभिजानाति कर्माभिर्न स बध्यते न माम karmani limpati. So I do not get engaged in any of this karma. Although he's creator of everything, he doesn't get engaged. He doesn't get reaction. Like today, if we do any bad karma, you know, we give pain to somebody very badly, or we do something, some bad activity. So we will instantly get a reaction. Not instantly, maybe later also. But Krishna saying, "Na me karma phale spiraha." Iti. So I do not get any karma phal for anything. Iti mamyo bijanati karma bir nasa badhyate. And if you know this, then you will not be bonded with any karma. Badhyate. You will not be tied. Badhyate means tied to any karma, because I am not, uh, I do not get any reactions for whatever I do. So that is what Krishna is telling here. Krishna is free from all material attachments, hence unaffected, because he's creator of Varnashram Dharma. And just like you see Ambani, he has such big Reliance Industries. So many people are working under him. He may have Reliance Geo, Reliance Retail, Petroleum, this, that. If something bad happens in those sub organizations, does the cop comes to arrest Ambani? Have you heard of that? So many frauds happen in an organization, right? So many things happen, but he's not responsible for any of those, because other people's, they take responsibility, they sign off that, okay, I am responsible for all these things. So similarly, Krishna, he's not affected. He's king, is not subject to the state laws. Proprietor, not responsible for activities of workers. They are responsible themselves. you know Many organization, if you see, if an employee sues the company, for say discrimination or anything, then generally the manager gets into trouble, and sometimes the manager has to pay for that, because the company doesn't take the ownership, right? Because company says, because you have done like that, you have to pay, you are responsible for it. So Lord is not interested in any kind of material happiness, even heavenly planets, just like a proprietor is not interested in the low grade happiness of the workers. Rains not responsible for different types of vegetation, although without rains there is no possibility of vegetative growth. So this is very important point. Yeah, so what it means is rains not responsible for different types of vegetation, although without rains there is no possibility of vegetative growth. Lord is not interested in any kind of material happiness, even heavenly planets, just like a proprietor is not interested in the low grade happiness of the workers. So although, like, rain is there, so rain is important for the vegetation, right? But it's not directly responsible, in the sense that there are other factors also, uh, which are responsible. There may be sunlight, there may be good whatever fertilizer, but without rain also vegetation is not possible, so that is also required. So although Krishna, he's he's the cause of all causes, but there are other agencies of Krishna that are acting to support us in different ways. So indirectly they are coming through Krishna. Indirectly the agency is coming through Krishna only. Without his permission nothing can happen. So if you replace rain by Krishna, for example, then you say Krishna is not responsible for different type of, say, whatever is happening in our life, right? Although without Krishna there is no possibility of whatever is happening in our life. Does it make sense? Yeah. 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 Correct. Correct. So directly Krishna is not responsible, but indirectly he is responsible. Yeah, I mean, what you gave is the example that sometimes you think with our own effort everything will attain, right? If you sow a seed, then tree will grow. But only effort is not required. You need the mercy of the Lord also, the blessing of the Lord also. Until rain is there, not there, you cannot grow the plant. So, so Krishna is working through his agency. Just we gave the example of the king. King is directly not subject, is not directly responsible. If suppose someone gets arrested here, right? Then it is the order is coming from, say, some authority here, some whatever local authorities. So you will say that, oh, Trump is not actually doing that. It is coming through a local police station. although it is local police station, but actually they are all reporting to say bigger police station and then ultimately to the president because all these laws are under his control. So like that. King can do no wrong and king is not subject to the. So basically, that's the idea of all these things is Krishna is not like us. That is the main thing. Krishna is Bhagwan. He is not impacted by whatever he does or we do. The bottom line is that for all these examples and everything. Lord doesn't aspire for the fruits. Na me karma phala spraha. Like when we put some effort, we think, oh, I should get this phal. I studied so hard. I worked so hard in my company. Why did I get a performance improvement plan? Right? So, so it is said that na me karma phala spraha. So Lord doesn't aspire for the fruits. The proprietor never desires the low grade happiness such as worker may desire. So you have to think from in the shoes of a CEO of a company. Sometimes CEO also get fired in today's days, but maybe there is someone beyond CEO who himself is a founder or started the company and is like that. Lord simply provides what the jiva desires. So we discussed in the beginning. So based on our consciousness, uh, the Lord will provide us. Ye yatha mam prapadante. The rain pours water on all seeds, and according to the type of seed, they all sprout into different plants. Lord inspires the jivas to act, but they act differently according to their past desires. So yeah, in this regard, I think I give the example of this chain smoker. So this is a very complicated topic, little bit. Sometimes people say, "Oh, God want me to commit this. I murdered someone because God wanted me to murder them." So is that right or wrong? Huh? Depends. Huh? Yeah, but Krishna was speaking to him. It's not murder. He's a warrior. If a military man goes, he gets Paramveer Chakra, na? That is not murder. That is he's doing his duty. If there is India-Pakistan war and if someone goes and kills 100 soldiers, so it's good. So Arjuna was a fighter. It's not murder. Huh? That's why I say it depends. Correct. Yeah. You're right. So somebody is suppose a chain smoker, and they smoke one whole packet of I don't know how many cigarettes are there in one pack. Does anyone know? So everybody is very smart. They think if they answer, then we'll catch them that they smoke cigarettes. So if somebody is a chain smoker and they smoke like whole pack and they smoke the next cigarette, right? So is it their decision whether they will smoke it or not? It's is it their decision? Yes or no? It's that, but they are so habituated by doing that thing again and again that they are not able to control themselves. But still, they have that choice. And whatever choice we are making today is making our karma tomorrow. Whatever we are seeing today is based on our previous activities. If they get cancer after 10 years, it's because of they smoke today so badly, so aggressively. So still we have a choice, but we get conditioned so badly, habituated by certain things that we cannot control ourselves. So it's not that the Lord wants us to do all those things, it's our desires many times. Lord gives us the free will that whether you want to do this or that. But some people do wrong things because they are so habituated and their friend circle is like that, they get peer pressured or whatever. So a lot of you see crimes they do, they say, "Oh, I watched that movie and I just did that thing," right? That crime, bank robbery or whatever. In the material creation, the Lord is only the supreme cause. The immediate cause is material nature. So therefore, we should be very careful what we hear, what videos we watch, what kind of friends we have, what conditions, what habits we are developing, because everything that we see or hear or smell or taste, it's getting into our mind. Dhyayato vishya pumsa sangateshu upajayate, and then we get attached to it, and then we perform those activities in that way. So that's why it is said everywhere, all the mothers say, "Oh, okay, make sure you have good friends, don't engage with bad friends," because that is the root cause. Because friends will tell you something and you'll start doing that. Although you have your own intelligence, we should use that, but sometimes we get influenced. So, evam gyatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhi kuru karmaiva tasmat tvam purve purvataram kritam. All the liberated souls in ancient times acted with this understanding of my transcendental nature. Therefore, you should perform your duty following in their footsteps. So, again, the power of association, all the liberated souls. So, Krishna is telling to have association with liberated souls, with nice people who know about Krishna. And then he's talking about his students as Vivashwan, Manu. So, in the beginning of the chapter, he told the Bhagavad Gita to Vivashwan, Manu, who followed the teaching and performed Nishkam Karma. If one is impure in heart, one should perform these actions to purify the heart, which leads to jnana. If one is already pure in heart, one should perform the actions to teach others. So, Krishna consciousness is beneficial for both kinds of people, polluted and materially free. So, if you see that those who have polluted hearts, so when we talk about polluted hearts, there is so many of those negative qualities, the highway hijackers of lust, anger, greed. And so everyone needs to take up this process, even the greatest people, materially free also, to continue the Krishna consciousness. Can someone give example of person who was very advanced in Krishna consciousness or very advanced in spirituality and they basically failed in the attempt? Huh? Bharat Maharaj, yes. King Bharat, right? He was in the forest. He was taking care of this deer, and he got so engaged. He fell in love so much with the deer that, oh, deer doesn't have a mother. Let me take care of the deer. And he forgot to do his daily rituals, his spiritual practices. So, therefore, we need a good friendship with people who are spiritually inclined so that we can, always remember our path, our direction. So, that is very, very important. So, how many of you have close friends like that here or somewhere outside who are good and who support you in spiritual practices? Please raise your hands. How many? Everybody here. Okay, nice. So, if not, then I think we should make one, and those who have, we should make more nice friendship so that uh, even the greatest people, they need kind of guidance, friendship with such people. So, friendship is very important. So, yeah, I think that's it for today. I'm sorry I did not prepare anything because I just came to know I have to give class today. So please forgive me. I just spoke whatever came to my mind. But of course, it is all authorized, whatever I have heard and read before. So yes, any reflections anyone has? Yes, Prakash. Yes.
Why would they not created the expectation? I feel like it just creates more inequality for people because in this, at least in Kaliuga, if we see like we see many new people like us. We play in the morning. We have like a brown time in the morning. It's in the day we become like they are those who job. And basically, what I'm trying to say is like we are following our dharma, but we act according to our circumstances. Right? We are not limited to uh, some division of labor. So, isn't this better than saying Brahmana should be only Brahmana? No. So, yeah.
So what is the question?
Why is
Created, right? What do you propose? What should be created?
like what we have like doing of dharma, submits are surrendering all yourselves. Maybe Krishna says that later, but surrendering all yourself, but not falling onto one category rigidly.
Yeah, yeah. So your question is why there is so much of distinction between four categories. Why can't you do multiple things? I see. So yeah, I mean, and you're right. Like in one day, like we may act like Brahman in the morning, and then we go out for work, right? So all those things are there. But Chatur Maya system. So Krishna created these four Varna ashram system, which are based on Guna and Karma. So of course, it is created by the Lord, and it is not only in India; it's all over the world. You see these things, but they are created so that there can be balance in the society. And if somebody wants to cross the boundaries, I mean, there is no mention that you cannot do so. You are free to do that, but it is created to have a balance, just like you have a body, right? So you have legs, you have belly, you eat food, you need some business to earn money and eat food. You have arms to protect someone like Kshatriyas, and your brain to think about things. So basically, these four categories balance the society. They are required overall. But it's your choice based on your guna and karma. Whatever is your inclination, you are free to do that, and you are free to mix things also. It's not like you have to be, if you're a Brahmana, no, you cannot work in the field. No, it's not like that. Because there are so many, like Krishna himself, right? Krishna was a cow herd boy, Gwala. Krishna is a Gwala. At the same time, he's a Kshatriya also. He fought battle with Kamsa, and he fought battles in Dwarka. So he also did both the things. And he gave guidance to Arjuna also. He acted like a Brahmin also, right? And so he's a Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya. So you can do all those things. It's not like you just have to stick to one path. It's not like that. But it is categorized because what it means is all these four different classes are required to have a balanced society. It's not that if suppose in America, for example, all the businessmen, all the entrepreneurs, they vanish away. We don't want all the entrepreneurs. Everybody goes to, say, for example, India. Then probably India will become such a great economy. America will go down. So, so everyone is required. So suppose there are no one who to sweep the street, right? Everyone is like going in the cars and everything. Nobody is cleaning, taking care of trees. Then it will be all dirty around, right? So you need everyone. And if you don't have anyone to give guidance to the Kshatriyas, there will be fights, there will be wars, which are already happening now because nobody is listening to the Brahmanas. So there will be again imbalance. So everybody is required. It's not that, yeah, that only one person is required or like that. Does it make sense? No. And you can do everything. It's your choice, whatever you want to do. It's not, yeah. It's just in a society you need all four of them. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Correct, correct. Yeah. So what do you mean by that? Yeah. Swadharma, whatever gels good with it. Huh? Yeah, not try to do other. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So is that a question or comment? That a comment? Yeah, yeah. Correct. Yeah, but at different times you may have different Swadharma also. Different time in your lifetime. Sometimes you want to be something else. Which is okay. But yeah, primary mode is Swadharma only. Whatever is the primary mode. So, for example, Vishwamitra Muni, he was doing yagya, right? And then he called Lord Ram because all the demons, Marich and Subahu, they were disturbing Vishwamitra Muni. But he was a Brahman. He could fight. He was Kshatriya previously, right? He could have fought, but he said, I'm a Brahman. I can kill them, but I won't kill them. That's why he called Lord Ram to fight them. Because at that time, he was acting as a Brahmin. So, like you said, whatever role we are in, we focus on that. Otherwise, what happens? We get distracted, from those duties. You are a Brahman, somebody comes to fight with you. If you start fighting, then who will do the Brahminical duties, right? So that is another reason. So that's a good point. Thank you for bringing that. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. Any other comments or questions? Okay. Anyone online would like to speak something? Arjun, Sanal, Srijna. Okay then. So I think we'll take Prashad now. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.